Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet.
This review is brought to you in part by Dean's Hobby Stop in Owasso, Michigan. Dean's has one of the Midwest's largest selections of used kits at great prices. They also feature new kits and supplies as well. Call Dean's to get their mail order list featuring hundreds of vintage kits, or check their website for great deals on both new and classic models. This review covers the Star Wars Death Trooper. It's a 1/12 scale kit from Bandai, number 0209052. Now, Death Troopers first appeared in Star Wars movies in Rogue One and a Star Wars story. Now, the Death Troopers were an elite variant of the Galactic Empire's stormtroopers, specializing in stealth, espionage, and lethality. Now, operating under Imperial intelligence and with enhanced weaponry, they served as protective details for significant Imperial officers and as special assignment commandos. First released in 2016, the kit is still available at online hobby stores and at auction sites as well. It contains around 100 pieces, molded in black, and comes with both stickers and water slide decals. It's a snap-together kit, so it's a pretty easy build. Now, when complete, it measures 6 inches tall, 2.5 inches wide at the shoulders, and 1.5 inches thick at the utility belt. Yeah, oh, that's Newt. He's the program director, tapping on the glass back there. Hey, come on in, Newt. What's your question?
That's really different. What made you decide to review a Star Wars kit?
Well, that's right, Newt. Every once in a while, I like to throw something in that's just a little bit different, because we've got a lot of viewers out there who have varied interests in the modeling business here. And so we like to just add something unusual once in a while. Now, I had mentioned that the parts are molded in black, and most of them are. There are, however, a couple of pieces that are molded in silver and clear green, which is kind of unusual on the same sprue, but there are a couple in this kit for enhanced authenticity. Here are the stickers for the kit, and they're pretty colorful, and of course they're easy to apply. There's also some water slide decals that aren't shown here, but you can take your pick if you want to enhance your model with those. And construction starts with the head, and there are a number of pieces there, and they will tell you if there's undergates that need not be removed or some small details that shouldn't be trimmed. But you can use the instructions, and by the way, they're at the end of this review if you need clarification, to go ahead and assemble the head and the helmet portions, and then this completes that segment of the step. And next we'll build the upper torso with the parts that you see here and gather up the pieces, and they're labeled PC, and that's a reference to the poly cap parts on the poly sprue. Now first you place the poly parts and in the A2-35 half of the torso and cover it with 34, and then you push the covers on the back. And now you can get out the chest pieces for construction, and note that you have to choose here. If you're building the Specialist, you use part B21 and discard part B12. So you would place the B21 on the front of the torso and press B3 and 4 on the front of the shoulders. Next up, get out the parts for the lower torso. And then I'm building the Specialist, so I won't use part A2-40. So press the front to the back, and then the plate B15 to the back, and then B8 and 9 together, and snap that on to B15. Next, we'll press the torso halves together and snap the neck into place. Remove the neck parts from the sprue, and then press the neck parts together and snap those into the top of the torso, and press the torso halves together. To add a little color variation, I decided to paint the shoulder pad, which is part number A1-3, a flat black for contrast before assembly. So once that's dried, set the shoulder pad over the neck and snap it onto the head. Step 3 refers to the hip area, so remove parts PC6 and 12 from the sprue, and then assemble or remove the other sprues from the A A sprue bunch, and push the poly parts into the hip half, A2 through 30-36, and then set that in the pistol holder, and finally press the other halves of the hips, A2 and 33, to the first half. And now we're going to add some tactical gear to the hips. So parts B5, 11, and then some of the A parts like A2-30, etc. And then there's two C-4s from the sprues, and you press those onto the codpiece there, the belt and the buckle, onto the hip parts, and then attach the pouches and accessories to the front of the belt. Next, we'll add some more gear to the back of the belt. Parts like B10, C4, and a couple of C7s. Follow the instructions and then press the pouches and accessories onto the back of the belt. And now we add some of the additional gear for the specialist. This utility belt has extra pieces and functionality, and pieces like C21 through C25 are used. You can see those in the instructions. So snap C12 and A2-31 to the bottom of C12, and you put this assembly to the center of the belt. Now you place the rest of the gear on the belt. Now A2-49 is the chest ammo pouch, and I painted that flat black, and the snaps are chrome, and attached it later. Now attach the belt to the torso and attach the hips to the bottom of the torso, and you can use A2-32 instead of the specialist belt for a regular Death Trooper. In step 4, we begin building the legs, and we'll start with the left leg. The upper leg consists of parts B35 and 7, PC5 and C11, and you press PC5 into 11 and into 37, and then 35 into 37 as well. Now we work on the knee and lower leg. So you remove the pieces that are in the assembly diagram there, and then for the knee you push both PC-1 parts into A1-26, and you cover that with A1-24. Now push the knee into the upper leg, press PC-17 and B-25 into that, and then cover that with B-26 and press the lower leg onto the knee. Now we'll finish up with the hip joint, the ankle, and the foot, and we need the pieces that you see here, and press B41 and a host of other pieces, and A1-2, and press PC-4 in between A1-21 and A1-27 for the hip joint, and PC-20 into B41, and cover that with the B42 for the ankle. Now press A1-20 into A1-2 for the foot. Press the ankle into the foot and the leg, and be sure to press hard enough to fully seat the parts. Now press the hip joint into the leg, and then the leg can be articulated. And now repeat the process that we started with here for the other leg. And we're at the point now where we're going to press the hip joints into the hips. And as you see, when you put them into position, they've done a pretty good job at allowing this kit to be posable. The joints really give you a lot of rotation. So put the major pieces together, and you can see we're well on our way to providing the Imperial forces with another specialist. In step 5, we assemble the arms, and we start with the right arm, and shoulder parts are used to begin this, and place PC-10 then into A1-14 and cover with A1-13. Now you slide A2-45 into B39 and then press the two assemblies together. Next we press PC-14 and A1-9 and cover that with A1-10 and press B23 and B29 into that assembly, and this will give you the upper arm. Now press two of the PC-13s into A1-16 and cover that with A1-17 to complete the elbow. Gather up the pieces for the lower arm portion and press PC-15 into B31 and cover that with B33. Now press the upper and lower arm parts onto the elbow and then grab the hand pieces A1-5 and B19, press them together, and slip that onto the lower arm. And there will be different hands that are used for different poses and weapons. And next we build the other arm with these pieces in a similar fashion. And finally, press the arms onto the torso. Now gather up the pieces for the weapons. And there's a sidearm, an assault rifle, and a sniper rifle. And they all need to be assembled. And there are different hands, optional hands for different weapons. B29, A2-57, and A258 are all used for different poses and weapons. Now I added some metallic paint to the weapons and just to enhance the detail, and also some dark metallic paint on some of the belt accessories. And then I placed the gun barrel decal on the assault, but I found I needed to use a little setting solution for that water slide decal, so you may find that too. After your Death Trooper has been assembled, there are optional hands and non-specialist trooper parts that are not used, and I painted some of the decal details, so I only used the ones for the assault rifles, and I didn't use any of the stickers for my particular build. Next, glue the foot plate to the base, parts A1-8 and SWB3-1. This is the only place in the kit that I needed to use any glue. And now press the left foot of the trooper into the plate, choose your weapon, and pose your figure the way you want. You can change weapons by changing hands and use different weapons or no weapon at all. Your kit is finished. Well, there you have it. This imposing figure makes for an awfully interesting display piece for your shelf. Even though the kit's a few years old, you can still find it available. It has great fit and detail, it snaps together, and it's got stickers, so it's actually an easy builder for youngsters, although some of the small parts need a little extra force to assemble and may need some help there. Now the sprue attachment points are pretty well hidden, so parts cleanup isn't even necessary. You just put the kit together the way the directions are. And although there's not much English, they work pretty well. Now, it can be weathered if you like to fit your vision of an assembled warrior, or just put it together yourself with some no paint and no glue with great results. Now, the parts can be put together in relatively quick fashion. This kit will take you maybe a couple of hours to assemble just by trying to get through and test fitting. Well, enjoy your kit, and if I were you, I'd buy one and put it on my shelf. We hope you like this step-by-step premium model kit review, and so that you don't miss any more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the icon in the lower right of any of our review videos. Or you can find us on Facebook or our website, rightonreplicas.com. Thanks.